in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is all right. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, my soul is all right. Let's get some noise. Let's get some noise. I am getting a blessing loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm in the right place, and this is the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. This is definitely the right time. Just where I'm supposed to be. Just where you're supposed to be. And I want you to know that the soul is welcome right here. I want you to get that message loud and clear. Let me hear it. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome right here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. All right. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you and good morning and welcome to Unity Church of Flint. Would you all please just stand and join me as we declare our statement of being together. God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. Hold on, y'all want to hear that again? So we'll make sure that you get it together. Come on. I am an individualized expression of God. Again. I am an individualized expression of God. Let's keep going. I am one with His perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. Thank you. You may be seated. For those of you who are joining us virtually, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our morning service and our celebration. Unity Church of Flint, here we believe and teach that everyone is a spiritual being created in God's image. We also believe that the Spirit of God lives within every person. Therefore, because the Spirit of God lives in every person, all people are inherently good. Even those folks that cut me off on the way to church this morning. Unity is a positive, practical, progressive approach to Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus and Fillmorian theology. This is a teaching ministry that honors the universal truth in all religions and respects each individual's right to choose the spiritual path. And here at Unity Church of Flint, we are committed to developing our 12 faculties of consciousness. Each month, we focus on one of these by emphasizing a disciple and the corresponding color. Now, the spiritual idea for the month of October is zeal, which is the inner flame that burns brightly for all to see. The disciple is Simon the Canaanite, and he represents motivation and the desire to accomplish great things. The corresponding color is orange. So this month, let us wear or carry something orange that reminds you that you are filled with zeal. That through the Christ within, your enthusiasm for life and living is boundless. And I'd like for you to, with all the zeal you can muster, with all the enthusiasm that you have, welcome our soloist for today, my buddy, Brad Clark.
Lord, I come, I confess, bowing here, I find my rest. Without you, I fall apart. You're the one that guides my heart. Lord, I need you, oh, I need you. Every hour I need you, my one defense, my consciousness. Oh God, how I need you. Sin runs deep, your grace is more. This found is where you are, and where you are, Lord, I am free. Holiness is Christ in me. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. So teach my song to rise to you. When temptation comes my way, and when I cannot stand, I'll call on you. Jesus, you're my home and stay. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. You're my one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Brad. This is the portion of our service where we get a chance to really expound on the things that have been going on with us this week. I say all the time that it works if you work it. I want to hear how you've been working these principles, how you've been working these teachings during the week and sharing what you're grateful for. And I have to start, Amy, so allow me the opportunity. That what I'm very, very grateful for is that I have the opportunity to have one of the most wonderfulest people in the world at our home, and that is my mother-in-law. So I'm very, very grateful for my mother-in-law being with us and sharing this, some wonderful time. My sister-in-law too. I love her dearly, and you can tell how much I love her, how we go at each other's throats off. You remember the show Martin? How Martin and Gina would go at it? Okay, another example that everybody's familiar with, Sanford and Son.
Yeah.
Okay, Fred and Esther, that's us. I love her dearly, and don't y'all tell her, but I will kill a rock over her. Tina is my heart. I really am grateful that she's here. Patrick, he came along with her to do some shopping. They're going up to Frankenmuth today, right? To get some things done. So I'm grateful for my family being here.
All right, my turn.
Yeah.
I got an email this morning, and I get a weekly thing from this person who's in Canada, but anyway, he's always got some good stuff. And there was a big long thing that was at the end that said, it's easy to be thankful for the good thing. A life of rich fulfillment comes to those who are also thankful for the setback. Gratitude can turn a negative into a positive. Find a way to be thankful for your troubles, and they can become your blessing. For today, I am grateful for my setback, but I'm also grateful that my neighbor transitioned on Friday, and her son is one of those people that can't leave the house. I got him clean, he got himself cleaned up, shaved, cut his hair, to go see her, visit her before she passed. And I was so proud of him, and it was just, he really did well, like each time, but he did so well. I was so proud of him. And he would have not been able to forgive himself if he hadn't seen her do it. So it was great. It was so good.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
I am very grateful. I'm very, very grateful. The last couple of weeks has been really a trying week with family members in and out of the hospital. And my aunt that I have that has progressive brain cancer, but I talked to her last night and she sounded well. I still got a little cousin, a baby cousin. She's 20, 25, 29 somewhere, but she's in the hospital and uh, apparently they may think that she has meningitis. And then I still have an uncle that's in the hospital, which is her father. So they are in the hospital at the same time. And it's a possibility that he has a small tumor on his brain, which is causing him to have convulsions, all that good stuff, all that stuff. But what I'm so grateful for is that I know I had shared how it just seems like being the oldest requires you to do so much more. And I'm the oldest niece, the oldest cousin. I'm just the oldest. And so it seems, the spirit of, too much is given, much is required. My auntie, well, both of them have told me, but my auntie last night in her sickness told me, and it just melted my heart because she said, I know it seems as though we put a lot on you. She said, but we know that you're the oldest niece and you're the only niece that will make sure and come through and check on everybody. So I am so grateful that God allowed me to be on this side of the fence, you know, 20 years later and almost 60 years old, I done finally got it right.
I'm in the same position, however, I put a little twist on it. I'm the firstborn. I'm not gonna claim that old. I'm the firstborn. I'm grateful this morning for a safe trip to Georgia.
Yay.
I went there to celebrate my birthday, and my grandson came stepping in the bedroom with a beautiful bouquet of flowers and this awesome card that I won't tell you what it said, but it was awesome. And I am just so proud of my children there. And I had a wonderful trip, air trip back here into Florida compared to what had happened to me in April. So yeah, prayer works. And it was gorgeous. And the agent at the gate took one look at me and he said, "Give me your boarding pass." And when he gave me the boarding pass back, it was a different one where I had the whole row to myself. So those little things in life, as Kitty Callan used to sing, little things mean a lot. So I'm grateful and I'm glad to be back here at home. I did not bring this weather. I came from the north.
Anyone? Yes, Lane.
I am grateful that I learned gratitude because I find that the more grateful I am, the more things pop up in my life to be grateful for.
Yes, yes, exactly. You got it. That's what it means when it works.
If you work it.
Yes.
I'm from Decatur, Illinois.
Welcome.
So greetings from Unity Church of Decatur. I was having trouble with my left knee. My sister's a physical therapist. She lives here. She was going to come today, but she had company come, so she couldn't come. But she worked on my knee last night, and I'm doing really well.
Good.
She's a healer. Probably doesn't want you to know that. If she comes, you see somebody that looks like me, it's her.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, welcome, and we're glad to have you and bring your energy to our celebration. It is
I've
so
been
nice.
studying the Course in Miracles too, and I think that's something about it.
Okay,
That's profound.
beautiful, beautiful. Anyone else?
I am grateful that I woke up this morning.
Yes.
I am grateful that I went to sleep just barely before 5 o'clock in the morning. So it was just, and I'm grateful that I am here.
Good.
Glad you're here.
Okay, right here, Jerry.
Oh.
Wonderful. You got anything? What are you grateful for?
Oh.
Beautiful.
That's wonderful.
If there is nothing else, I'll turn this portion over the service to Reverend Mary as our platform assistants to give us our announcements and our daily word.
Thank you. And as we prepare for our announcements, I'd also like for you to prepare your prayer slips. It's a great time so that both things can go through your consciousness at the same time. Good morning. Our announcements for the week and beyond. The September, October copies of the Daily Word are available on that back table in the plastic container. You can leave your offering there or in a basket back there. But I advise you to buy not just one, but two, so that you can leave one somewhere along your path this week. Someone is waiting for a positive word, and Daily Word can give it to them. The daily prayer, our weekly prayer and meditation service is on Tuesday at 11 o'clock. All are welcome. If you're not able to attend in person, please remember to join us in consciousness wherever you are. Tuesday and Thursday, our church is open for open NA meetings and open to the public. And we have received additional emotional support from that group in many ways around our church, and we are grateful for it. Thursday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, the course, How I Use Truth, will resume. Actually, it will continue, because this is an ongoing event in our life, how we use truth. This week, we will cover chapter 11, Oneness. There are 2 more weeks left to this class, and everyone is welcome to join at any time. Each lesson is a standalone event. A love offering is received at the end of each class. And if you use PayPal, please contact Annie for additional details. The Unity on Campus Ministry, founded by Reverend Griffin's mother, the Reverend Ernestine Griffin, 25 years ago. And it's still the only Unity ministry on campus in our movement. It's celebrating their 25th anniversary today. It's a wonderful intergenerational ministry that encourages not only the students, but their families to receive truth and use it in their lives. And one day Reverend Ernestine told me she still has students from years previous contacting her. So please remember them in your prayers and your offerings if you like to, because it's a wonderful idea to have a place to go when you are a student in college and you need some prayer support, or just somebody to talk to who doesn't look at you crazy. Reverend DG will offer a completely virtual class starting this Wednesday, October the 11th, from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's entitled, Meeting Jesus Again for the First Time. I thought I met him already. That's what some people are going to be saying. But this is an interesting presentation, and the author of the book is Marcus Borg, B-O-R-G. You can purchase that online, and it's going to run for 6 weeks. The fee for the course, the offering for the course is $40. And it's scheduled to run for the 6 weeks, as I said.
Registration slips are
Are-
available.
Oh, okay, are they somewhere on the table?
No, I sent them out. I didn't
Okay.
get any to give you.
All right, thank you. Our all-purpose, all-around office manager, Annie, has informed me that she's sending registration slips out already for this class.
Oh, also, we have 2 people registered already from North Carolina.
Oh.
There's 2 people registering from Milwaukee.
Great.
So, home folks, don't let these out-of-state folks outdo us.
Unity Church of Flint is celebrating their church anniversary this coming Sunday. When I first investigated this, I thought it was the 90th year here in Flint, but it's 93 years. And so we're going to incorporate this into our service for next Sunday, which is also our potluck Sunday. And there will be cake and punch afterwards. And we can stand around and not only congratulate ourselves that we made it for 93 years, but what are we going to do for the future? We have a dynamic minister who's going to push us, teach us, because this is a teaching minister. And we want to be around to say, hey, we got 93 more coming.
Yeah.
So this coming Sunday, during our 11 o'clock service, we will be celebrating our 93rd anniversary. Now, I stumbled across the cutest little flyer. You probably saw it on the door as you came in. This coming Saturday, October the 28th, from 6 to 8 p.m., we're going to have trunk or treat right out there on our parking lot. Now, we're going to need some more candy, and all that other kind of stuff, because we admit we sugar them up and send them home. But we need the candy, so put it in your trunk and come on out here and join Unity Church of Flint annual trunk or treat get together on the parking lot. If you have any questions, is Katie here yet?
Yeah.
Okay, if you have any questions after church, see Katie. Our annual membership meeting will be held on Sunday, October the 29th, after the morning service. Please fill out your membership update forms. They've been mailed to us. And so that also gives us ability to contact whoever we need to contact in your family to remind you that truth works if you work.
it.
Now, there was another announcement you wanted.
Yes, Ty?
Our social outreach,
Not
community outreach.
Okay, okay, sorry about that. Also, yes, November the 5th, we will be having, open to the public and church members, free Narcan training, which will be provided by GHS. They will be here November the 5th, that Sunday. They will be here around 12 o'clock to set up. The training will start at 12:30. We're going to try to provide light refreshments for our guests because we're probably expecting people from the community and from the community of GHS, because I know they're going to be advertising to come and participate in this free public training to show you how to use Narcan effectively, what it's for. And then at the end of the training, all participants or all attendees will get a free Narcan kit.
Explain to some people what Narcan is, please, Ty.
Narcan is how can I put it? It's used to offset the event of overdose from opiates or heroin overdose or opioids overdose. It gives the person probably anywhere between maybe 10 to 15 seconds, enough time for paramedics to come on the scene and finish administering medical attention for someone who may be potentially overdose from an opioid or heroin overdose.
All right. And this is so necessary nowadays. So remember, 12:30, November the 5th.
Yes.
Right, because we want to make sure that we are keeping up to date on some of our community's needs. And if there is something that we can do medically or health-wise to help a person that's in need or to help a person that may be going through, something, this is an opportunity for us to be able to provide some type of a service. We're getting more community outreach, we're getting more community notarization, which is why I wanted to bring another piece of information to you that I came across for the city of Flint. And
Good news, Flint. The city of Flint Fire Department is installing.
Are you ready for that?
yes,
Okay,
Yes, I guess so.
I had to make sure.
Good news, Flint. The city of Flint Fire Department is installing free smoke and carbon monoxide alarms in residents' homes. Call 810-762-7336, extension 5102 to request yours free of charge. The Flint Fire Department received a generous donation of smoke and carbon monoxide alarms from Operation Save a Life. Hundreds of alarms are available for Flint residents and will be installed at no cost. So call the Flint Fire Department at 810-762-7336, extension 5102 to request your free alarm today. And we'll be working to get more resources to improve public safety in Flint. That's good news.
so if there's anyone that you know of that does not have smoke detector or carbon monoxide detector, or it's not working, or anything of that nature, or if you just need to update yours, because some of the ones that we have may be from 10, 15 years. So here's an opportunity for you to get a brand new one free of charge. I made sure that the number was up there again, because you know how it is when you're watching television and they say, just call this number, and run it off, and you don't really have the time to get the number. So those of you who are in-house, please take the number down, get the message out that these are free of charge. Virtual audience, if you know someone in Flint, the number, and I'm gonna say it slower, is 810-762-7336. And when you call that number, dial extension or ask for extension 5102. Yes, please.
Is this just for residents in the actual city of Flint or outlying area? Do you know?
Just the city of Flint.
Okay.
Because some of the things that I've been made aware of is that there are funds for each city, each township, each suburb, and they're trying not to, not say overlap, but if you live in Flushing, you're not gonna be accessible to Flint funds. There's funds for Flushing. If you live in Burton, there's money set aside for Burton, and what the forces that be want to do is have that money used for those
Okay.
particular areas. Yes, Carmen?
Do you know what kind of fire alarms these are?
No, I do not know.
Okay. 'Cause I-
Call that number.
Right, when you contact that number, they will let you know
Okay.
exactly what brand
I
they
don't care
are.
what brand it is, I just don't want to have to buy a new one in a year when it starts beeping.
That's the battery.
That's the
Yeah,
bad.
that's the battery.
I understand,
Mhm.
but I had ones
Mhm.
previously. You couldn't change the battery, you had to get a new alarm.
Oh, okay. That's some information that I don't have an answer
Okay.
for. I wish I did.
Call the number.
But if you call this number,
Okay.
they'll be able to let you know. And Carmen, I'll wait for you to get your pen out, because I want to make sure that you have the number.
Yeah. because-
Oh, and while I'm saying this, there's something else that Ty has done for everybody. Every time I turn around, Ty is doing something. She's going out of her way to make sure that we have any and everything that we need. You know to take notes, right? Sometimes you may not have pencils or paper with you. Ty has got notebooks that are on the back table there, so you might want to get back there and get one now, because during today's message, there's gonna be a lot of notes to be taken, yes.
Just to let you know, how important the carbon monoxide is, my husband and I, he died and I almost died, so, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, see, it takes on an entirely different meaning when it hits home. As long as it's for somebody else or something, somebody in another state or whatever, it's a little different, but when it hit home, it has an entirely different meaning. Okay, so Carmen, the number is 810-762-7336, extension 5102. Got it?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And to close out this section on upbeat notes that the city of Flint is doing, under the leadership of our present mayor, McNeely, they have already installed somewhat around 12 dozen updates to the stoplight system in downtown Flint for the advantage of those who are visually impaired or blind. And I was made aware of this because of my connection with the National Federation of Blind in the Flint area. And so this is a wonderful opportunity that is being offered, and we hope to have it expanded. Now, for our moment, when we tune in for our daily word. October the 8th, Sunday, 2023 already. Our daily word, window word, is together. I call it the window word because you kind of look out through the window at a concept, and today's concept is together. The presence of God unites us as we work, play, and pray together. Joining with others to work makes the job easier. Joining together for fun multiplies the enjoyment. The camaraderie, competition, cooperation, and support of togetherness gives me a boost and brightens my mood. The indwelling Christ's presence is alive in all people everywhere. When I work, play, or pray with others, something greater than the sum of our individual efforts and insights result. The divine love that binds us or multiplies as we recognize in it for one another and gives it fuller expression in ourselves. Work becomes more productive, play more enjoyable, and prayer more fulfilling. Together, we produce more good work and feel more joy and happiness than any of us could accomplish in our own self. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there I am, says Matthew, the 18th chapter, 20th verse. And so today we look together. The presence of God unites us as we work, play, and pray together.
As we move into our time of prayer and meditation, if you have your prayer requests, because I know everybody has someone that they are praying for, someone that you're praying with. If you don't have someone in particular that you are praying for, write my name down. There is so much power in collective prayer. That's why I have this, at this part of the service, as we're moving into this time of meditation, to keep those people and persons and situations in prayer. Please join in consciousness together as we say the Lord's Prayer. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. As we take this time to center ourselves mentally and spiritually, we do so by relaxing the body, taking several deep cleansing breaths to settle us into a state of receptivity. A state of being able to receive all that God has for us. In this state of receptivity, I now accept all that God has for me. I can now accept all of the love that is being poured upon me. I can now accept all of the peace that God has in me. I can now accept the joy of the Lord that is my strength. I can now accept all of the health that has been mine from the beginning of time. I now place myself in the position to accept God's abundance. I now put myself in the position to accept my role. What is it, God, that you have placed each one of us here to do? I accept my role. I accept my responsibility. I accept my position. It is in this consciousness that we can accept that this is God's house. May we who come here not only find out about God, but find God. May there be beauty in this place. But especially may it be a place where men, women, and children become aware of the beauty within themselves. May this be a place of worship. May this be a place of instruction. May this be a place of singing. May this be a place of prayer. But for those of us who worship, take instruction, sing and pray, may this always be a place of inner stillness, where we may listen and hear when God speaks. May whoever ministers here minister in love. May whoever teaches here teach truth. May whoever serves serve pleasant. May everyone come into this house in expectation. Go with thanksgiving. And may anyone who comes needing help go feeling blessed. May this be such a house that Jesus Christ or any stranger would feel in it that he was with us. This is God's house. And we declare it to be so. In the name and through the power that is in the name of our master teacher and elder brother, Jesus the Christ. Amen. And so it is.
Please join me in our thoughts and prayers. we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
And before I give you to Reverend Brian, I need to say something about that little song, Our Thoughts and Prayers. It was composed by a lady named Lucille Olson, and her trio used to play at Unity of Flint, and we were located on Lemon Road. And she has written, I've met her several times through Unity music conferences. And she has written so many positive community type songs. You need to look her up online and find some of her songs to listen to because they're just so uplifting. And this lady from out of state that we have visiting today reminds me, she looks a lot like Lucille. And I thought maybe she's a relative, you know, but anyway, but that's what reminded me to remind you that that's one of our members that has written that song and many others.
What was her name?
Lucille Olson.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Annie. In preparing for today, I'm really loving working with this book, Simple Truth, because it puts everything so basic. I have to admit, I did go a little on the intellectual side while preparing for the day, so I'm trying to pull back. I've also been instructed, or I should say told. Yeah, I've been told that even though I'm dealing with simple stuff, I have a tendency to overexert on Sunday mornings. And he said, instead of trying to preach, do some teaching. Said, okay. However, if anybody's been in class, you know that I teach harder than I preach.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to do some basic, simple teaching today. We're going to use as a base from Simple Truth, yes and no. So we're going to be working with it today. Because we're dealing with our basic principles. And the principle that I'm giving you today, or that I'm going to be focusing on, is we create our life experiences through our way of thinking. In order to keep this simple, I do not want us to begin to overanalyze or put too much commentary on the experiences that we have had in the past. Okay. This is designed to give you information to go from this point forward. We can't go forward too many times because we're dragging the baggage from yesterday. We're dragging last week's luggage. We're dragging last week's experiences, last year's upsets, heartaches, breakups, all of that. Know from this point forward that you can create your experiences. That right there is good news. Because there have been some experiences that I know we've all had that have not been pleasant. Or is it just me?
Man.
Okay. And some of my unpleasant experiences have been recent. So, I have to look at this and look at it from a very simple perspective, is that I have the ability to create whatever experience I want to have by the way that I think.
So in order to create our experiences based on the way that we're thinking, I want us to know that I am not talking about your brain. I'm talking about the mind. I will hit just a piece of the actual physical brain during this message, but I want to talk basically about the mind and how the mind itself functions. So, as an aid in understanding how the universal mind creates, we can observe the action of our own mind because we are offspring of the one mind and we bring forth in like manner. You see, universal mind. No, gotta get it right. Our mind is an offshoot or an off branch of the universal mind. The way universal mind creates, we can create too. Somebody, every time I say this, somebody gets, confused or shocked because they're like, oh, don't mess with my ideas. But there are two creation stories in the book of Genesis. That shows us a very, very good example of how we create our world. The first creation story is showing us how the mind works. It's giving us the pattern. The second is then the manifestation of it. Our lives work the same way. We have the idea, we get the pattern, then we must put it into manifestation. When we're talking about the mind, I want you to understand that the mind is the starting point of every act, thought, and feeling. The mind is the seat of perception of the things that we see, hear, and feel. The mind is the seat of perception. Things are the way they are because of our perception, how we see it. And for the most part, people have taken this and ran with it in their own way. It's how they perceive things. And how you perceive things is based on your position. The position of your perspective. Where you are in life, where you are in consciousness, where you are in the world determines how you see things. Where you are in the world determines how you think. Where you are in life determines how your mind functions and how your mind operates. So that being said, let's look at the three phases of mind. And I love teaching this, because this is one of my early on classes, and one of the things that I can just go with. This is so simple, you miss it. Because we try to make it complicated. The three phases of mind are the conscious phase of mind, the subconscious phase of mind, and then there is the super conscious phase of mind. Now let's look at how these different phases of mind work and interact with each other. When we're talking about the conscious phase of mind, the conscious phase of mind is simply our awareness. Okay? It's our awareness. We're dealing with the five senses. Things that you see, things that you touch, that you taste, those things that you're hearing. And it is very, very important when the mind is developing to watch these things. Because we will take the things that we hear and swear up and down, that's it. If I can't touch it, it's not real. If I can't see it, then it's nothing. But you see, there are some things that we see, that we touch, that are, get the difference, factual, but not reality. We've got those mixed up. We get them confused. The facts, put this in your notes, facts change. If it can change, it is not real. Ouch. But that's the simplest way I can put it. If it can change, it's not reality. Now, what happens is these things that we see, that we hear in the conscious phase of mind has to go somewhere. It has to do something. What it does is it goes to the subconscious phase of mind. Now, the subconscious phase of mind is like soil. And I had to learn the difference in dirt and soil. Soil will help anything grow. There are some things that's just dirt that's not going to help anything. Okay. Soil is a good representation of what the subconscious phase of mind is. So these things that we see, hear, smell, taste, touch, all of the sensations get planted in that soil. But here's the kicker. We are planting either flowers or weeds. So every thought is a seed. And it gets planted in the subconscious phase of mind. And when that seed is planted, at some point in time, it's going to grow. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, are we planting flowers or weeds? Now, how do you know whether you planted flowers or weeds? Seeds. What your experience is. The subconscious mind could also be said to be a hard drive or a tape recorder. That subconscious phase of mind does not have the ability to filter stuff out. That's why I have to be very, very careful what I try to pay attention to what is playing on television when I go to sleep. Because if the television, y'all some don't know sometimes the television little kids are watching you. As much as I love watching Angela Lansbury, I could not go to sleep with Murder, She Wrote. Because that's planting something in my soil. That's putting something on my hard drive. You can't get anything off of the hard drive that you don't put on it. So we have to be very careful about what we put on that hard drive. Now, let's deal with the phase of mind that not many people really work with. That's that superconscious phase of mind. That superconscious phase of mind is the Christ mind. You can either say Christ mind, you can say God mind, you could say oneness. You can call it whatever you want. But this Christ mind is the ultimate. But we don't get what's being presented from the Christ mind to the soil because of what's going on in our awareness. When we're talking about the Christ mind, we're talking about all of the attributes of God. Now, you won't need your pencils for this because everybody's going to be able to answer this question. What are the 5 basic attributes of God in order?
Life,
Uh-huh.
Love.
Yes.
Wisdom,
Uh-huh.
power,
Yes.
substance.
There you go. Those are the 5 basic attributes of God. Life, love, wisdom, power, substance. You see, these attributes don't get to the soil or don't get to the hard drive because mentally or emotionally we stuck here. So we got stuff that's planted in the soil, stuff that's on the hard drive that needs to go. So we can make room for this. This stuff is what needs to get planted in the soil. Audrey, I hope you're watching. I hope you're listening because here's your answer. Mm-hmm. And that's where I stopped. So now I got to pick it up from here. In dealing with the mind, when we have things in the soil that are planted that need to get removed, the question was, how do we get stuff off the hard drive? The answer is simple. Our ability to say yes or no. The words that we use are denials and affirmations. So let's look at those 2 things as simply as we possibly can. What are denials? And what are their effects on inharmonious conditions? And I'm putting denials first because in unity, in New Thought, we don't, in my professional opinion, we do not put enough emphasis on denials. Everybody in different churches, even those who aren't in churches, going to tell you about, listening to different affirmations and saying these positive thoughts every day. Yes, but you got stuff in your hard drive, you got stuff in your soil that needs to be weeded out in order for that stuff to take root. There is stuff in your mind that needs to be denied, that needs to be gotten up. Here's where I start talking about the actual brain for a minute. There is a piece of the brain, some part of the brain that's shaped like an almond. That's called the amygdala. And what the amygdala does is it's like a Rolodex. And anytime you are in a situation that you're faced with, that amygdala has one primary job, and that's to say, have I been here before? Have I experienced it? What has anything like this happened to me before? This is where a lot of people get stuck and cannot move forward. Because there were some experiences that we had before we could consciously remember that get planted in the subconscious phase of mind. That when it props up, the amygdala says, have we been here before? Yes. And it comes up with that answer, yes, we've been here before.
The amygdala secondary job is to either fight or flight. If this experience has happened to me before, say for example, as a baby, your mother had you in the tub, not the big tub, the little tub, giving you back, and the phone on. And she's trying to watch you and get to the phone. In that split second, if your head went down, that gets stuck in your amygdala and gets you to the point where, oh, I can't stay away from water. But that was one instance, that was one experience, and the amygdala got that, and anytime you come in contact with water, it says, have I been here before? Yes, and in your mind, I almost drowned because of mama trying to answer the phone. Oh God, and that pulls up a whole lot of other issues that get put in there. Then we get all these trust issues with parents, and see how this thing just spirals out of control. There's stuff that gets planted in the subconscious phase of mind that must be erased. So what are denials? This is where we're going to really focus. Denials are tools with which we erase, cleanse, and release from our consciousness all beliefs, thoughts, and concepts, get this here, contrary to truth. Excuse me, that's why I told you earlier, we're dealing with reality, not facts. And there are some things that we learn here in Unity and in New Thought that are real. And we're going to get into some of them. Basically, as simple as possible, denials are based on a no attitude of mind. Another television show that I loved was In Living Color. And the character, Homie the Clown.
Yeah.
Homie, don't play that. That, in an essence, is what denial is. So as I start going through these denials, all I want you to think is Homie the Clown. Homie, don't play that. What do denials do? Inharmonious conditions are transformed because the erroneous beliefs behind them are erased. So when I start going through these denials, I'm not saying that these inharmonious conditions do not happen and that they don't exist, that they don't take place. But those conditions, those inharmonies, are totally erased through the use of denials. So what are affirmations? And what is their purpose? Affirmations are firm statements of truth used to establish in our consciousness the truth about God, about man, and about the universe. The truth about God. We went through some of that a couple of weeks ago, that God is omnipresent. God is omnipotent. That's the truth about God. See, some have this ideal concept that God is all powerful. That is powerful, meaning you have power. But in Unity, we teach you that God is all the power there is. Not one that has it, but God is the thing itself. God is the gift and
The giver. See, this is why I teach harder than I preach. I'm not going to finish all of this message today. I can already see that, but I got to get a little further. So if denials are based on no, then affirmations are based on a yes attitude of mind. The purpose of the affirmation is to build up a consciousness of the presence and power of God. Now, when we're dealing with these affirmations, when we're dealing with these denials, I prepared to go through the 4 basic affirmations that Emily Katie gives us in Lessons in Truth. I was prepared to go through the 4 basic denials that Emily Katie gives us in Lessons in Truth. That's where I was ready and prepared to go. But I'm going to stop and not go into that because this is where I'm led, or why I'm led not to so much go there today outside of the time factor. Should denials and affirmations be conformed to set forms and rules? No. They should express our inner beliefs and attitudes, because sometimes when you have set form, they have a tendency to bind you. An affirmation is not a magical incantation. And it's done. Trust me, I wish it was that easy. That I could just get a set of words and make it all happen. But I have to work on whatever words that come from the innermost part of my being to deny, erase, or root up any of those false beliefs. Very quickly, a false belief is that, and this is one of the false beliefs that tried to seep in to me while I was in the hospital. They tried to come and tell me, oh yeah, that's right, because there's other folks in your family that had that. So, see, that's a false belief, that just because they had it means I got to have it. Denial, homie, don't play that. When people begin to put things to you, and you hear it all the time, well, you know the economy is bad. That's where the denial comes into play, the firm no attitude. Homie, don't play that. It can only be as bad as you accept it to be. Just because it's bad for somebody else, don't mean it has to be bad for you. Oh. I'm going to say this one. I promise I'm going to say that. See, this is why I teach harder than I preach, because I love doing that. This time of year, it's known. And they even put it on TV. It's flu season. Oh, yeah. Go get your puffs, because you're going to be sneezing. Homie, don't play that. The flu is going around. Fine. Let it go right on around me. It ain't got to stop here. See, that's the power of saying no. That's what denials do. We have the ability to say no to sickness. We have the ability to create our life experiences by saying no to poverty. We have the ability to say no to any type of lack. We definitely got the ability to say no to any type of confusion and say yes to peace, to say yes to joy, to say yes to Brad singing his next song.
Okay, time to go.
Branded earth has quaked before, moved by the sound of his voice. Seas that are shaken and stirred can be calmed and broken from my regard. Through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well with me. Far be it from me to not believe, even when my eyes can see. And this mountain that's in front of me will be thrown into the midst of the sea. And through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. And through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well. It is well. So let go, my soul, and trust in Him. The waves and wind still know His name. So let go, my soul, and trust in Him. The waves and wind still know His name. So let go, my soul, and trust in Him. The waves and wind still know His name. The waves and wind still know His name. It is well. With my soul, and it is well. With my soul, it is well. With my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. 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 It is well, it is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. Through it all, my eyes are on you. And through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you. And it is well with me.
It is always a joy to have you sing great joy music, so fit your voice and your style so beautifully. Thank you so much for your participation. At this time, as we prepare to close our service, if you would please take your love offerings, your tithes, your supporting gifts, however you have come prepared to give, or however you have been directed to give during the service. And while those of us in-house are doing that, virtual audience, we thank you for your financial support to this ministry, because there are some things that we as a business need to do that actually cost money. Imagine that. And your support helps keep that going. And we greatly, greatly appreciate your support. You may donate by going to the website, unityoffnet.org. And on the homepage, midway through there, you'll see the donate button. And then you just follow the prompts from there. Those of you who are in house, if you would, please take your love offerings in your hands and declare our love offering blessings together. Divine love through me blesses and increases all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. There is a basket on the back table as you are leaving the sanctuary to place your offerings in.
Would you repeat the fire department's phone number one more time, please? For the.
I'll give it to you, Mary.
Okay, because it's in the presentation and I have to go back through
Okay,
all
thank
of
you.
the slides to get it, but I'll make sure.
I've got it if you'd like me to read it.
Oh, sure.
Okay. The fire department alarm program. phone number is 810-762-7336, extension 5100. That's for me? No, 510 something.
5102.
I'm
Five
sorry, 51.
Thank you. That's what y'all got for me.
Thank you.
2.
Got it, thank you.
Thank you. Good catch, Annie, thank you.
I know there wasn't a double T.
Yeah.
Okay, then if you would now, please stand where you are. Let us sing our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace I was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. Let every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And our prayer for protection, time.
The light
of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Okay, in the bathroom, yeah.